Have you ever wondered what makes a tank truly legendary? A design so powerful and effective that it becomes a symbol of military innovation, seen on battlefields all around the world for decades? Well, you're about to discover one such machine, the T-72. This tank, born in the heart of the Cold War, has left its mark on history, and its legacy still lives on today. But what makes it so special? Why did it become one of the most successful tanks in history, with over 25,000 units built? Stick around, and you'll find out how the T-72 became a game-changer on the battlefield. To understand the T-72, we must first look back in time, to the 1960s, when the Soviet Union was in the midst of the Cold War arms race. At the forefront of their military technology was the T-74, a tank packed with advanced features like the powerful 125mm smoothbore gun and an automatic loader, reducing the crew size to just 3 people. It was a technological marvel, but there was a problem: it was expensive. The T-74 was tough to produce in large numbers, and the Soviet military needed something that could balance cost with effectiveness. This is where the T-72 comes in. Enter the T-72, designed to be cheaper, faster, and just as effective. Its story began as the Object 172 prototype, which was tested in 1971. The Soviet engineers quickly realized they had something special. The tank's design was stripped down to be more cost-effective, without sacrificing firepower or reliability. By 1971, the T-72 entered production, and it didn't take long for it to replace the older T-55 and T-62 models. And so the T-72 became the new backbone of the Soviet Army. What made the T-72 stand out, though, wasn't just its affordability. It was designed to be incredibly simple yet effective. For example, the T-72's auto-loader system was revolutionary. Unlike Western tanks that required 4 crew members to load the gun manually, the T-72 only needed 3. This system allowed the gunner to load and fire the main 125mm gun quickly, which meant the tank could fire faster than many of its Western counterparts. The tank's turret was compact, and the crew's reduced size meant it could be faster and more agile. The T-72's 125mm smoothbore gun was a standout feature. While many Western tanks used rifled guns, which had their advantages, the Soviet tank designers favored the smoothbore design. This was more effective for firing high-velocity rounds, and it was less prone to wear and tear. Plus, the gun could fire guided anti-tank missiles, turning the T-72 into a true multi-role weapon that could adapt to various combat situations. Another key feature was the tank's low profile. Soviet engineers were experts at making their tanks harder to hit. The T-72's turret sat low, giving it a smaller target for enemy forces. This design element was vital on the battlefield, especially in tank battles where size and visibility could be the difference between life and death. It wasn't just a tank, it was a weapon designed with survivability in mind. But the T-72 was more than just a marvel of engineering, it was built for mass production. While Western tanks were complex and costly, the T-72 was made for the factory floor. Its parts were easier to manufacture, and it could be produced in large numbers at a relatively low cost. Over 25,000 T-72s were built, and the tank found its way into many armies across the globe. From the deserts of the Middle East to the plains of Eastern Europe, the T-72 became one of the most widely used tanks in the world. One of the most remarkable aspects of the T-72's story is its enduring legacy. While many tanks are phased out as technology advances, the T-72 has remained a fixture in global military operations. Its reliability and simplicity meant that it could be easily maintained in the field, making it a long-lasting asset for many countries. Even today, some nations continue to use the T-72, often with modern upgrades to keep it competitive against newer tanks. The T-72's success wasn't just a fluke, it was the result of careful planning and smart decisions. The Soviet Union needed a tank that could match the West's technological advancements, but without breaking the bank. The T-72 fulfilled this need perfectly, offering a combination of firepower, speed, and cost-effectiveness that made it an attractive option for both Soviet and foreign militaries alike. And then, there was the battlefield. Over the years, the T-72 proved itself in countless conflicts, including the Iran-Iraq War, the Gulf War, and even the ongoing conflict in Ukraine. In each of these wars, the T-72's combination of firepower and reliability allowed it to perform effectively in a variety of combat situations. Despite facing more advanced Western tanks, the T-72's design allowed it to hold its own, proving that good design doesn't always require the latest and most expensive technology. But the T-72's story isn't just about its time in combat, it's about how it became a symbol of Soviet military ingenuity. The tank's success in production, its longevity on the battlefield, and its ability to be adapted for different combat scenarios all played a role in cementing its place in military history. It wasn't just a tool of war, it was a testament to the Soviet Union's industrial might and its ability to produce reliable, effective military equipment. And while the T-72 has seen many upgrades and modifications over the years, its core design has remained the same. Many nations have taken the base design and made their own tweaks, turning the T-72 into a family of tanks. These variations have included upgraded armor, better optics, and improved fire control systems. However, the essence of the T-72, the simplicity, the power, and the affordability, remains unchanged. To this day, the T-72 serves as a benchmark for tank design. It proved that you don't always need the latest technology to build a great tank. Sometimes, simplicity and reliability can be just as powerful. And for many countries, the T-72 remains a trusted companion on the battlefield, a reminder of an era when tanks were designed for practicality, not just for technological bragging rights. The T-72's legacy is one that extends far beyond the Soviet Union. It became one of the most exported tanks in history, finding its way into the hands of military forces all around the world. Countries in Africa, the Middle East, and Asia adopted the T-72, using it in various conflicts and proving its versatility. The fact that the tank has remained relevant for over 5 decades speaks to the enduring strength of its design. But let's not forget how revolutionary the T-72 was when it was first unveiled in 1977. When the world first saw it at the May Day parade, it was clear that this was no ordinary tank. Its powerful 125mm gun, low profile, and autoloader made it a force to be reckoned with. It was a clear statement that the Soviet Union was ready to compete with the West, not just in terms of technology but also in terms of mass production and battlefield effectiveness. Today we continue to see the T-72 on the news, in documentaries, and in ongoing military conflicts. Its presence on the battlefield is a testament to the fact that good design never truly fades away. The T-72 is a symbol of an era, but it is also a living legacy of Soviet engineering, a tank that, despite its age, continues to serve as a reliable and powerful force. So, what can we learn from the T-72? Perhaps it's that innovation doesn't always come from the most expensive or complicated technology. Sometimes, it comes from finding the right balance between cost, power, and simplicity. The T-72 showed the world that a tank could be powerful, reliable, and easy to produce, all at the same time. It was the perfect example of a practical design that has withstood the test of time. As we wrap up, think about how many countries still use the T-72 today. In a world filled with cutting-edge technology and super-powerful tanks, the T-72 still holds its ground. Whether in its original form or with modern upgrades, the T-72 continues to be a player on the global stage. If you found this story of the T-72 fascinating, don't forget to hit the like button. Leave a comment and tell us what you think about this legendary tank. Do you believe the T-72's design still holds up today? If you want to learn more about military history, tanks, and other legendary machines, make sure to subscribe to our channel. We've got plenty more incredible stories coming your way. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.